Hey everybody, and welcome to Northernlion tries Foregone, which is in early access, as you can see on the title screen here. It's interesting how this game came to my attention. You know, I've been doing Northernlion tries for like just over 3 months now, every single day. So we're approaching like 100 Northernlion tries that have been done in the past 3 months or so. And every day I check the same places. Steam, believe it or not, I check itch.io. Those are the two big ones, to be honest with you. And I started to think, well, you know, I'm missing a storefront. Every once in a while, I'll pop over to the Epic Games storefront when I hear that something came out, and then I'm sorry, Tim Sweeney, but I'm just going to be honest. I type it into Steam, and then it's not there, and I go, oh, I see what's going on here. But I thought, let's browse the new releases and coming soon on the Epic Games Store, and honestly, I found a bunch of interesting stuff, including Foregone, which is an action-adventure game that looks quite a lot like Dead Cells, but as I understand it, is not like a roguelite and is instead maybe meant to be played through, you know, as one self-contained campaign instead of over and over and over again. I did receive a code for this from the publisher. Thank you for that. So this is available starting, I believe, the same day this video comes out. This will be available on the Epic Game Store. Coming to other major platforms later in 2020 and Steam in 2021. So you're literally seeing this sight unseen. But I have watched some trailers for it, and honestly, you're gonna see right off the bat. Hold on, let me read. I got in trouble for this before. The sprawling city of Calagan was once at the forefront of scientific research. Its progress was suddenly halted by the invasion of a rival state, heck-bent on stealing its technology. Desperate to survive, Calagan scientists developed a breed of super soldiers to turn the tide. The Arbiters. You are the first Arbiter. I was just gonna say, once you see the art and animation, you're going to understand why this grabbed my attention. It's very fluid, and, you know, in particular, the animations. I know nothing about animation, just to be clear, so what I'm about to say here might sound absolutely idiotic, but, like, the fidelity in them, the amount of frames in them, is that a thing that makes any sense at all? It's really striking, and the game looks great in motion, too, like, from the trailers I've seen, at least, so let's move forward here. Jump. Press and hold jump to increase distance. While we're doing a tutorial here, let me also say hello to the developers, Big Blue Bubble. Hey! Relax. Who, the way I understand it, first off, they're Canadian. They're not in the greatest city in Ontario, which of course is Kingston. Instead, they're in London, Ontario. We have Kingston and... hold on, melee hits restore ranged weapon ammo. That's an important one. Kingston and London have a little bit of a rivalry thanks to our universities, but frankly, I don't really care about it all that much because I'm not 14 years old. Big ups to you. And as I understand it, this was also originally, not originally, sorry, let me rephrase. This is a very important distinction. The developers predominantly before this have worked on mobile titles, so this is like their first foray that I could find on their website, at least the first one in a while, that was quote-unquote core gaming focused. And honestly, at least from a visual standpoint so far, a very impressive debut. I think it's cool because you sometimes hear, like the developers, if you're watching this, you know, I don't presume that you are because, you know, there's other fish in the sea for one, and also I'm sure you're busy, you know, but beyond that, you know, you might not know. I'm sure you probably know. You probably are aware of the fact that there's a little bit of a stigma against mobile games. Mostly ignorantly, I would say, for the record. But I think it's cool, because you usually see development kind of go the other way, right? We're used to seeing these stories of companies that are like, hey, big studio or big publisher bought studio, and now instead of making the games you know and love, they're making like a mobile version of the games you know and love, which sometimes has negative connotations. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying I've been hearing it. You gotta admit, your boy's figuring this out pretty early. Luckily, we are recovering health from every enemy we fight. Because were it not for that, we would really be in a lot of trouble here. I wonder what happens if you go over top here. See if there's something for me up here. See, I skipped the entire facility. Good idea. Anyway. I just wanted to point that out. I think it's kind of a cool story. You know, sometimes when there's you know, an opportunity, I like to highlight some of the stuff that makes the game seem more human, you know, rather than just a product on the screen. Adds a little bit of an interest element to it. Oh, I knew it. Anyway. So we've gotten a lot of resources. I'm hopeful that... You think we can go in these? No. I'm hopeful that we get a chance to spend them. Maybe we'll come across a town or something soon and we can see where the game kind of blossoms from here. Okay, we're still in the tutorial. But from an audio-visual standpoint, like, right off the bat, very, very impressive. I'm just trying not to... Thankfully, I don't have too much Dead Cells muscle memory. Excuse me, you punch me. Yeah, we should just take out enemies with range as much as possible for now. That seems way smarter. Oh, sorry. RB to activate. Ooh, excuse me. Or at least enemies that have ranged weapons, we should try to... Well, I guess you'd rather rush them down. I don't know what I'm talking about. Clearly, I haven't read Sun Tzu's The Art of War. It's too long for me. That's a joke. The book is, I believe it's like 40 pages long. How dare you? Please give me your HP. Yo, do we not get rewards from enemies unless we kill them via melee? No, these guys are just... Oh, that's a spawner. I see. Oh, it's not a spawner. It's the mom. It's the mom. Okay. Well, hold on. It's gonna take all of my video game knowledge. But I'll have you know, I'm a core gamer. I played Dark Souls Randomizer recently. I'm very familiar with how to make this work. Alright, so hopefully that was like a little bit of a skill check for us, and now we can... I was just gonna say, move into a little bit of... Oh, no. Never mind.
Couldn't something stay dead?
A real flair for the cinematics so far in the game.
I suppose.
Is it like... I was trying to see if it was level driven. Like maybe this is level 2. Yo, I love that... Oh, I totally forgot the word for it now because I'm a little bit out of the game. When things scroll at different speeds in the background... Hold on, this is embarrassing. This is gonna hurt me. Or it's gonna haunt me, I should say. What is it called when things scroll at different speeds in the background? Parallax! There we go. That parallax was really nice. I think there's something over here. No, thankfully no fall damage, dude, so we got nothing to worry about there. It's really gorgeous. It almost gives me like a high-res sort of La Mulana vibe.
This place is always giving me the creeps.
But I gotta admit, I'm eager. I'm eager to see where we can go from here with our resources. I got 268 gold. I got 57 blue. Give me... Oh, I wonder... Oh, I thought maybe if I press like... the back button. Yeah. Okay, hold on. So we have a map. We have a short sword. So there is loot, I suppose, at some point. They did mention items and lootables in the store page. I can't get over... I know I've said it many times. But, like, the actual visuals of the game are so good.
A bad dream? Forget it. Stick to the mission.
Well. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. And, whoa, a little title card drop. I told you. There's some narrative designers on this game right now. LT is probably a dash, I'm guessing. Surge. Dash forward, damaging all enemies. Beautiful. You know what the graphics actually remind me of? It's gonna... I might make this a little ham-fisted, and if so, I apologize for that. But it almost feels like a 2D game from the dawn of the 3D generation. Which is, you know, you definitely would rather have it that way than be a 3D game from the, you know, the end of the 2D generation. Unless you really like Stunt Racer FX, but, hold on, so we have 57. Unbreakable strikes. Dealing damage has a chance to attach an explosive charge. Unstable strikes, sorry. Thought maybe we could do something there. Oh, dude, okay, we had many skill trees. Dealing damage has a chance to attach a tether Latches to a target, damaging on movement, and breaking at max distance lasts 5 seconds. Kills have a chance to gain haste. Kills have a chance to gain leech, which is lifesteal. Taking damage has a chance to poison enemies. Taking damage has a chance to gain bulwark. Let's take lifesteal. We'll take 1 level of that. Oh, you pay with blue, but you get a refund in gold. How interesting. Okay, so that allows us to get to just raw damage. It's a more robust perk system than you would see in something like, and I'm not knocking it necessarily because I thought this game was good as well, but it's a more robust system than I saw in Kunai, for example. Are we locked out of this path now? That's also cool. So we can only go like speed build or damage build, so we can only go poison or tank build. That's interesting. And then we could probably maybe only go with one of these two, unless I've got it terribly mixed up. Let's attach explosive charges. That sounds way cooler. Yeah, that sounds neat. Okay. Fair enough. And then teleport. I don't really want to teleport. Maybe there's a shop, for example, or a forge. That'll work. Just trying to see. Upgrade costs 20 gold. Normally, you know, do you really like to upgrade your starting weapons? Maybe yes, maybe no. You might like to find some better, you know, loot out there in the wild, but we'll give it a try here. I'm feeling the vibe. It's extremely artfully put together.
Looks like she's been busy. Better track her down before she can do any more
So this
damage.
is like a teleport back to the base. I'm really impressed. Like, I think if I hope I'm not misrepresenting the story. I think if I had told you, like, hey, it's a mobile dev's first core game in a long time, this is not what you would have expected. What did we get here? Oh, new loot immediately. Well, it is a slight DPS downgrade to keep what we've already got. So you know what? Send it, dude. Why not? Why not? See if we get different... Yo, there are different move sets. Okay. I gotta be honest, it's doing a lot of things right off the bat. What do people like to see? People like to see items that give you cosmetic changes that are actually cosmetic changes. They like to see items that give you different move sets, like this one. More power, but definitely substantially slower as well, as you can see from that. This is really cool. They're doing a good job. What do you got there? Another shotgun. Okay, so you double up on those, and I guess you probably disassemble them for gold, maybe? Would be my guess. Another falchion. I don't know what I got out of it right now. Let's see. Like, where are we at? We're on 139 gold. It might not even give you anything. 139. Yeah, I think it might just create inventory space. Oh! You almost got me, you son of a gun. Son of a gun? Son of a gun? Look. We've long since established, if you've watched this channel for any length of time, you're aware of the fact that I don't know how to talk. You'd think it would be a strong suit for me, given that it's, you know, the career I've chosen to take. Or been chosen to take, depending on your perspective. Apparently not. Just keep blasting.
Huh. Looks like I'm on the right track.
Now, is this a permanent upgrade or a temporary heal or something? Oh, right trigger is a heal? Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. I bet it recharges with melee, thus allowing us to be more aggressive in combat. Is that correct? Are you watching, devs? Is that correct? You don't have to watch, by the way. Like, I hope I'm not making it seem like you have to watch. Do you think I can make that? In the tutorial, it was like if you press it longer, you'll go higher. But I think maybe that was as high as it'll go. So we are recharging our ammo. I thought also maybe the guns would just have like a limited number of like one-time bullets, even though that doesn't really make that much sense. But that doesn't appear to be the way it works. Oh, excuse me. A longbow and an emblem. I honestly don't know what an emblem is, but let's equip oh, dude, they have not flavor text. Sorry, what am I thinking of here? Modifiers. They have modifiers on them too. 4% chance to gain life on hit, but the DPS is so very slightly lower. But I think we'll still equip that. And my longbow, 15% chance to apply stasis. Emblem increases damage by 5%, and it's equipped. All right. Yeah, this seems really cool so far. I'm not gonna deny, like, it definitely has some, it has some early access, I don't want to call it jank, because I don't really feel like it's janky at all. But, you know, things like, the loot not having its own sprites, instead it just has, like, what I'm assuming, I hope, is a placeholder icon that's more like, ooh, fair enough. You'll excuse me. There we go. A placeholder icon that's more like, you know, hey, this is a weapon. Hey, this is a ranged weapon. You get the idea, right? I'm assuming that's going to change, but otherwise, like, an extremely impressive... I know I've said it before. Extremely impressive, especially visually, approach here. It's very striking. It reminds me a little bit of Chasm as well, which came out last year. Or maybe 2 years ago, maybe last year. I will say as well, I'm trying to get used to the fact that getting hit is not really that big of a deal. That feels, because so many of the games with this, I mean, let's be honest, it looks closest to Dead Cells. That much is essentially undeniable. But, you know, if you're gonna look like a game, that's a pretty good one to look like. That game is gorgeous. Sure, why not? We'll equip some armor. Did it have a visual effect? I'm a sucker for that, too. I don't know if I can unequip it now that I've equipped it, because I don't have any other pieces to go on. But, drink up, please. Thank you. I'm getting used to the fact that getting hit does not matter as much in this so far. Let's go. As it has mattered in, you know, other games of this sort before. For me, at least. But apart from that, I'm like, dude, I'm impressed, honestly. Which is not surprising. I mean, it's particularly an impressive looking game. And can I hit you with something? You're not gonna like this, because I understand the discourse surrounding the Epic Game Store. And I've said my piece on it many times. I do understand why, oh, hold on, he has loot. I do understand why people are annoyed. But I personally consider it kind of a non-issue, and you know, what I say, I'm happy to use another launcher, and, you know, some of the concerns levied against Epic are concerning. But at the same time, I guess I'm just a man of no principles. Because I'm like, I go where the games are. I've got the Microsoft app, I've got Origin, I've got Steam, I've got the Twitch launcher, believe it or not. We use that for Minecraft, weirdly enough, because of the way that the mods work on it. But here's I'm shying away from the controversial statement that I'm about to say, or I was about to say, but now will be saying imminently. I almost look at something having Epic exclusivity as being like, it's a great sign. To be honest, like, Hades had Epic exclusivity, Satisfactory has had Epic exclusivity, and both of those games I think are quite good, and I'm sure there's other examples that just aren't coming to mind right now. But, you know, when a platform approaches you and is like, hey, we're gonna give you a canvas bag with a $sign painted on the side, usually they're doing it because, you know, they like what they saw. And I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. It's almost like, again, I don't think it's gonna be a popular sentiment. I don't think it's gonna make me a lot of friends in the comments section, but sometimes when I see that something's Epic exclusive, I'm like, oh man, I bet that's interesting, above average, etc., etc. It's got something that got people back, or got people that work at Epic to be like, you know, secure the bag for them. I can definitely see why this got a lot of attention. I'm getting a lot of different vibes here. Dead Cells is one for sure. Chasm is one for sure. On a more classic level, I'm feeling like a little, and this is mostly just visually, but I'm feeling a little like Out of This World, aka Another World. Hold on, there should be a switch in here somewhere. Up at the top, I probably just missed. Whoa! Whatever, dude. I have an Estus flask. You can't stop me. I think it's something about the like really high def 2D, and also 2D that actually has like a depth element to it, like when you turn around, or like when you use the heal is another good example. Not today. You kind of see things in 3 dimensions. It's like it's an illusory 2D. I wouldn't mind having some kind of extra defensive maneuver, though. Like, the dodge, I'm not sure it seems like enough for me. I feel like I'm taking damage that I shouldn't be taking. Plus 3 health, plus 13% control resistance. Just level with you, I don't know what that is. I don't mind plus 10% health, though. I'll take that. Alright, we got to heal up extremely slightly. Where are we at here? 20 minutes? We'll probably move on just a little bit. I'm hoping... Got him. I'm hoping we'll come across a boss, perhaps. Well, I don't even think, like, what I was saying earlier was that I was thinking that the dodge was insufficient. I don't know if I would agree with my own statement there. First off, I did just die like a fool. I think it's rather that you don't dodge at the same time. Like, the dodge has to be, as you do in other games, I should say. It's like the dodge has to be initiated at an earlier moment. Because it's more deliberate. To be honest with you, I'm really used to playing Dark Souls right now. Where, when an enemy winds up for an attack, you press the dodge button, and pretty much immediately you dodge, as long as you're naked. Hold on. We go up here, right? This is pretty distant. Like, it's a ways back here. We could have gone to the Forge and upgraded as well. But I kinda... Oh, no, it's not that far back, I think. I kinda just want to get some extra progress in here. I don't want to really redo the same area too much in the course of the video. I would rather see some more new stuff if possible. Like to stop taking damage at some point in the near future if we can manage that as well. There you go, get that heal in there. This seems cool, definitely. I do see that there's still, at least like my interpretation of this so far, still some fleshing out to do on the systems. For all of the audio-visual experience that's happening here, it does still feel almost a little bit simplistic on the combat level. Like, yes, you have loot, and yes, you have, an attack and a dodge, and you have the, you have ranged weapons and melee weapons that can be used in conjunction, and, different abilities. I mean, when I say it like that, it makes it sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. And that actually went much, much better right there. But it does still feel like I'm kind of, for some of these enemies, I'm mostly just walking up and then just pressing X until they die, right? But definitely, it's not just a pretty face. There's something to this as well. It's very robust. Also kind of reminds me a little bit, and we're getting a little ways back here now. Reminds me a little bit of Dust: An Elysian Tale. They, came out for Xbox Live Arcade back in 2012. And I say that just because, there's not that many, these days, there's not that many, kind of, I don't want to call it linear, because it seems like there's some Metroidvania sort of spots, but there's not that many just, like, straightforward action-adventure games, Like, story-driven action-adventure. A lot of games these days have a roguelite bend to them, which obviously works for me. Okay, that felt great. So I'm kind of into it, honestly. And I can't deny, definitely, the takeaway from this is game is gorgeous. That's the big thing that's going to strike you. I can't deny it helps out, When a game looks good, it's just that much more appealing to check out. Plus 5 health? Nah. And I think, you know, especially with early access, it's easy to see where this game can go from here. Oh, you must be like a champion? What are you doing there? Iceman? Pepsi Man? Is that you? Daggers. Alright, let's see how these work. Hey, don't hit me! Whoa. How did I do that? I think I accidentally hit the heal button when I was moving, I was like panic attacking. Yo, that looks so good. Dude, I know I'm saying it over and over, but like, it looks great. Very cool. So I'm hoping that if this is not a boss, I'm hoping it's some kind of content set piece, because we're pretty much good to move on here. I think we've seen a lot. It is a content set piece as foretold by the scene change. The Hollow Hills. Sounds like I'm on. Oh, she's talking.
How did she get free in the first place?
Big door is always a great world building moment, because you're like, what the heck was here to oh, what the heck was here that required and necessitated the use of the door? That's so big. So here's what I'm thinking, okay? Head downwards. And roll, and roll, and roll. Go back to the teleporter. We'll upgrade ourselves back at the forge and see if there's any other story going on there. But yeah, I will say, after playing about a half hour of Foregone, I'm starting to get the loop. And the more I get the loop, the more I'm like, I need another wrinkle in the combat. I'm hoping that the loot system can be that for me. Let's just upgrade the daggers. It's probably not something you want to upgrade. Like if you're doing a like pure like RPG style, you'd probably much rather well, yeah, you'd probably much rather upgrade something like this, for example, that would just give you more damage, but also has some flavor text attached to it. But let's get wild. Can we upgrade our armor? We can upgrade our armor. Can we upgrade a ring? You can upgrade a ring. That's a lot of stuff to upgrade. And we got 91 juice to spend at the oratory. And we got a 2% damage bonus. There you go. All right. Yeah, Foregone. Very, very, very visually impressive. And to be honest, kind of cinematically impressive as well. Music is nice. On a presentation level, they really did a bang-up job. Combat system, good. But I feel like I could use just a little bit more. I don't know. It's not very helpful feedback. I'll be honest with you. It's not very helpful feedback. But I feel like I just want to go like a little bit faster, or I want to have the option to be like a little bit better defensively. But definitely, I think they've got a really, really good base going on here. And in particular, I mean, you got to give them a lot of credit for the... Like, yes, I know I've said 40 times the animation is great, but it's more the fact that every weapon having its own unique moveset so far has been really, really cool. Like, that's something you don't see all that often, is like, you know, usually you either get loving, handcrafted animations, or you get, or let me rephrase. Yeah, usually you get lovingly handcrafted animations or a wide variety of weapons, rarely both. In this, I don't know if I'd say wide variety, but we're still only like 20 minutes into the game. But, you know, we're getting a little smattering of each for sure. So check it out. It is coming to other major platforms. I saw, when I was Googling the game, I saw that there is a Switch version coming. But for now, it is PC early access on the Epic Game Store as of February 27th, which should be when this video goes live. You can check it out for yourself. I'll put a link to the Epic Store in the description, and then it'll be coming to Steam in 2021, if that's your prerogative, and who am I to judge? For now, though, let me bounce out of this. This is Foregone. Thanks again to the publisher for the code. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!